Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're exploring something really powerful,
Oh, yeah.
the power of gratitude.
I love it.
And we're going way beyond just, basic manners
Right.
like please and thank yous.
hmm
We're going to really see if we can uncover how gratitude can actually rewire our brains
Yeah.
for happiness and for the better.
I think that's such a fascinating approach because so often we think of it as just a social gesture.
Yeah, exactly.
But, this is about using it as a tool for
Right.
real personal transformation.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we're drawing on some really cool insights today
Yeah.
from an episode of the Mindful Moments podcast.
Oh, great
It's
podcast.
such a good one.
I love that one.
And then also we're going to sprinkle in some wisdom
Okay.
from the one and only Mel Robbins.
Love her.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
So are you ready to find out how something as simple as like a 5-second practice
Wow.
can totally shift your entire outlook?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Amazing. Okay, let's jump right in.
Okay.
So to kind of set the stage,
Right.
let's just unpack this whole idea of gratitude.
Okay.
What are we even talking about here?
Yeah, what is it really?
When we say gratitude, what does that even mean?
Well, a lot of people, they think it's just about saying thank you.
Right.
But mindful moments actually highlighted this way deeper aspect.
Oh, interesting.
They said it's more about
Okay.
recognizing and appreciating all the good things we have,
Okay.
both big and small,
Mm-hmm.
no matter where they come from.
So it's not just about what other people do for us, but
Right.
it's also like appreciating just a sunny day
Exactly.
or a good cup of coffee.
Yes.
Those simple joys that we often take for granted
It's so true.
Yeah.
We do take those for granted.
all the time.
Yeah. And that's where this shift in focus is so important.
Okay. Yeah.
Instead of focusing on what we're lacking,
Right.
we start to really appreciate what we already have.
I love that.
And that is a game changer.
Totally.
It really is.
Yeah.
It takes us from this mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance.
So much better.
And research actually shows this has a huge impact
Yeah.
on our overall well-being.
It makes sense. Okay, so we've kind of established
Right.
that gratitude is more than just politeness.
hmm
But how does this tie into Mel Robbins
Okay.
and her famous 5-second rule?
So Mel Robbins talks about using that 5-second rule
Right.
to kind of break out of those negative thought patterns.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is that you can use that same rule
Okay.
to rewire your brain for positivity
Interesting.
through these deliberate acts of gratitude.
Okay, so tell me more about the science behind this.
Yeah.
How does gratitude actually change our brains?
Well, so our brains are naturally wired
Okay.
to focus on threats.
Interesting.
It's a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
And it kind of leads to this thing called negativity bias.
Negativity bias? Okay.
So imagine your brain like Velcro.
Okay.
Those negative experiences, they stick really easily.
Yeah, they do.
But then the positive ones
Yeah.
kind of slide right off.
It's true.
But by consciously practicing gratitude,
Right.
we can create more Velcro for the positive.
I love that analogy.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah.
We're basically training our brains
Okay.
to seek out and focus on the good things.
Cool.
We're building new neural pathways.
So it's like,
Think of it like walking a path in the forest.
okay.
The more you walk it,
Yeah.
the clearer it becomes.
Right.
That's what gratitude does.
Wow.
It makes those paths for positive thoughts easier to access.
So it's not just like some fluffy feel-good concept.
No.
There's real neuroscience behind this.
There is.
That's pretty amazing.
It is pretty cool.
So have you ever like experienced that negativity bias yourself?
Oh, of course, everyone has.
Right.
It's just part of being human.
Right.
But I've found that having a gratitude practice
Yeah.
really helps me interrupt those automatic negative thoughts
Yeah.
and shift my focus to something more positive.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, Mindful Moments shared this great story
Oh, yeah.
about Emma
I love that story.
and how keeping a gratitude journal after a really tough breakup
Right.
really helped her.
Such a good example
Yeah.
of how even small, consistent actions can make a difference.
Yeah.
It wasn't this sudden transformation for her,
Right.
but more of a gradual shift.
Okay.
She started feeling lighter,
Yeah.
more optimistic,
Yes.
and just better able to handle challenges.
Yeah.
And it shows how a consistent gratitude practice
Yeah.
can really build resilience over time.
That's so inspiring.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, if a gratitude practice could help us all
Totally.
navigate those inevitable tough times in life.
Yeah.
Like, what if we all had this tool
Right.
to shift our perspective
Yeah.
and find those glimmers of hope, even when things are really difficult?
And that's exactly what these practices aim to do.
Yeah.
It's not about denying the hard things.
Right.
It's about building that inner strength
Okay.
to face them.
I love that. So
Yeah.
how do we actually do this? How do we integrate gratitude into our daily
Yeah.
lives in a way that feels like doable and natural?
Mindful Moments had some great suggestions. Yeah, they recommended starting each day by thinking of 3 things you're grateful for.
Oh, I love that.
Simple, but powerful.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Right.
Just like a quick moment
Right.
to acknowledge the good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they also talked about keeping a gratitude journal.
Oh, a gratitude journal?
Even just writing like a sentence or two each day
Oh, okay.
can make a difference.
Yeah, like a little reminder for yourself.
Yeah,
Or to
exactly.
appreciate the little things.
hmm
What other tips did they have?
So they also recommended expressing thanks to others.
Oh, that's nice.
A simple text, an email,
Yeah.
or even a handwritten note.
Yeah.
It can go a long way
It's so true.
in acknowledging the positive impact others have on us.
Sometimes we forget to do that.
Yeah, we do.
It's such a small gesture,
Right.
but it can really brighten someone's day.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then they also talked about visual reminders.
Visual reminders.
So like putting sticky notes
Oh,
with
yeah.
gratitude-focused words
Okay.
around your home or workspace.
I like that.
Those little nudges throughout the day
Yeah.
can be really effective.
That's a good idea. I can see that working.
Yeah.
So those are all great tips.
Mm-hmm.
But what about when things get tough?
Right.
How do we cultivate gratitude
Yeah.
when we're facing real challenges?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember,
yeah.
gratitude isn't about pretending everything's okay
Right.
or ignoring the difficulties.
Yeah.
It's about finding those little glimmers of light.
Okay. Yeah.
Those small things that bring a sense of peace
Okay.
or appreciation,
Mm-hmm.
even amidst the darkness.
So it's not about denying the negative,
Right.
but about acknowledging that there is positive even amidst the hardship.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about shifting our focus,
Yeah.
even if it's just for a moment,
Right.
to something that brings comfort or solace.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's not about pretending that the hard stuff's not there.
Right.
It's about finding those sources of strength and resilience
Exactly.
that help us get through.
Yeah.
Huh.
Recognizing that life is a tapestry
Oh, I
of
like
both
that.
light and shadow.
Yeah.
And that gratitude allows us to appreciate the light
Yeah.
even more amidst the darkness.
I love that.
Yeah. And, Mel Robbins talks about this too.
Oh, yeah.
She emphasizes that this requiring process takes effort.
Okay.
It's not a magic switch
Right.
that flips overnight.
It's like building any new habit.
Exactly.
It takes consistency, commitment.
She talks about making gratitude a daily practice.
Okay.
Something you actively cultivate,
Yeah.
rather than something that just happens.
So it's a conscious choice
Yes.
every single day
Every day.
to look for the good and appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
Good.
So why is this so important?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Studies have shown that gratitude is actually linked
Okay.
to some pretty amazing benefits,
Really? Like what?
like improved mental and physical health,
Wow.
stronger relationships,
Okay.
increased resilience,
Nice.
and greater overall happiness.
Okay, so it's not just about feeling good in the moment.
Oh.
There's actual tangible effects
Exactly.
that come from gratitude.
Yeah, and those effects extend far beyond just our own well-being.
Interesting.
Gratitude can actually have a ripple effect
Okay.
on those around us.
How so?
Well, when we express gratitude to others,
Yeah.
it creates this positive feedback loop,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
fostering connection and appreciation.
That's a beautiful thought.
It is.
That by practicing gratitude,
Yeah.
we're not only benefiting ourselves,
Right.
but also contributing to a more positive world.
Exactly.
Like a chain reaction of goodness.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And, Mindful Moments touched on this too,
Okay.
especially in the context of relationships.
Yeah.
They talked about how expressing gratitude can actually strengthen our bonds with
Okay.
loved ones
Yeah.
and even improve communication.
I remember that part.
Yeah.
They were saying like when we express appreciation for the people in our lives, it fosters this sense of validation
Yes.
and belonging.
So important.
It is.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder if gratitude can even be helpful
hmm
in challenging relationships.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Even in difficult relationships,
Okay.
expressing gratitude can be a powerful tool
Okay.
for healing and reconciliation.
So it's about finding the things that we still value and appreciate,
Exactly.
even amidst the difficulties.
Yeah, it's about shifting our focus
Okay.
from the negatives to the positives,
Mm-hmm.
from the conflicts to the connections.
That's really powerful.
It is.
But let's be honest.
Yeah.
Gratitude isn't always easy.